This for all my Motown Sports Dads, repping every game with the fields and the courts. Keeping every schedule in the notepad. Rocking team merch and a sports cap. This for all my Motown Sports Dads, repping every game with the fields and the courts. This for all my Motown Sports Dads. This for all my Motown Sports Dads. Courtesy of Motown Madness. Courtesy of Motown Madness. Can't you see it's Motown Madness? Can't you see it's Motown Madness? Courtesy of Motown Madness. Courtesy of Motown Madness. This for all my Motown Sports Dads. This for all my Motown Sports Dads. Yeah. Motown Madness family, we back. Yeah, man. Motown Sports Dad, the podcast, where honestly, we just trying to get a dads a breath of fresh air, a come up for air. We get so busy as dads, husbands, employees, employers. We just need a platform to just hang loose, drop some jewels, kick it, man. And we here for a good time, not a long time, man. But you're here with your boy, Marcel B, the MC, all streaming platforms. Tap in with me, social media. I'm everywhere. But also, let's get to the fellas here, man. We got a man of the people, the bourbon connoisseur. I call him in my phone. His name is The Right Joe, you dig? And so we got Suburban Joe, man. What's good, my brother?
Yo. What up, all?
Yes,
hey,
sir. Yeah,
all is good, man.
Yeah.
It's getting warm here in Michigan. The sun's starting to shine. Yeah. Man, it's awesome.
I just peeped the baseball t-shirt, too. I like that.
Heck yeah, I'm getting ready, man. I know we've had a couple of rough games, but still October ready, bro.
Yeah, man. We got the best team in baseball, the Tigers, if y'all ain't know that.
Yes, sir.
Just in case y'all didn't know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Definitely last but not least, we call him the Chief Geek. He the code breaker, man. Mr. Motown Magic Basketball himself. Man. What's up, Coach T?
What up?
Look at him rocking in the cold Motown Madness medallion.
You know what I'm talking about? For my stars and my you feel me? You know what I'm talking about? We through this thing, man. What's happening, y'all? We're back in the building.
Up?
Yeah, man, we back, man. Good to be back with the people. Got to tap in. Let's just catch them up, man. Coach T, man. I know it's been a lot, but what's been going on, man?
A lot of basketball and a lot of baseball, all at the same time. I can't figure out which way I'm going or where I'm coming or where I'm flowing. Right. I need some help. Sometimes I be needing Joy to help me out. Joe, help. I be looking at help, bro, help. I ain't put no flowers out yet. I ain't got no flowers.
Yeah, we got to do that this weekend.
Anyway, it's all good, though, but we're here for you, though.
Yes, let's get it, man. Let's get it. So, Joe, what's up with you, man? What's been going on?
What's been going on? Like I said, I've been doing work around the yard, got the flowers planted, just enjoying life, man. Enjoying life.
You don't have to show up, Joey.
Oh, yeah, you know me. Hey, in a day, if I'm not showing off, right? Let's just be real. I got to be doing something to show off. Let's go.
How's that weather up in Michigan, man? Is it turned that corner? This is like my favorite time of the year up in Michigan, man. Is it nice
it's just about there. We got mid-70s coming. Gotcha, mid-70s.
Right.
I like it.
Here in Florida, it was in the 90s. It's been in the 90s, like high 90s lately. Like I did my little 2.5 mile walk around 5 p.m. And when it started, I couldn't wait for it to be over. But luckily, it got super cloudy, almost to rain, so it cooled off, man.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, man. So look, man, let's hop
from head to toe.
With me though, man. So fellas, it's official, man. Around this December, man, I'm gonna be a granddad. Just found out, man. I'm gonna be a granddad this December. Super dope.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? So
congratulations, bro. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. So we might have to change the name of the show to the Motown Sports Granddad. You dig? So But yeah, man.
Sports dad and one granddad.
Hold on, player. Speak for yourself now. Speak for yourself.
I said the one granddad. I didn't say two
Right.
or three.
Yeah, man. So looking forward to that.
Let's go.
This sports dad has raised now a sports dad. So it's gonna be super dope. Looking forward to that. Shout out to Sincere, man, and yeah, that's awesome news. MJ has been hooping, man, hooping. Everything from opportunities to take the winning shot. He missed it, but it was a drive, baseline, pull up, good shot. He just missed it. Went in and out actually. And so just to be able to experience that was super dope. He just started JV high school basketball for the summer. They went 4-0 on their first weekend. That was dope. Playing at UCF this weekend and just really looking forward to more and more hoops. He's healthy. He's growing. Just had his sports physical today. And so he's locked in and ready to go, man. So looking forward to that. Shout out to Rise Above, man, because his trainer is getting him on point and locked in and growing his game every day, man. So shout out to Coach Cortez Higgins with Rise Above. Right, man, let's hop in, fellas. Pro Dad,
let's do
man.
It. Let's do it.
Over the past month and a half, we've seen Ja Morant's dad, be ejected from one of the NBA games. We've seen Tyrese Halliburton's dad, go on the court, have a moment with Antetokounmpo after they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. After that, he was suspended or banned from some of the NBA playoff games. He's now been able to return to the games. We've seen Dion receive some backlash in the media, believing that he caused Shedur's stock to drop for the NFL draft. So it's kind of like the dad's been busy, man, right?
They've been busy.
The
it's a whole new world, bro. It's a whole new world. Dads are involved, man. Come on. Let's go.
They've actually kind of taken the spotlight, so to speak, from their sons, so, it got me to thinking, like, I want to know from y'all, honestly, man, and to our audience, what's your thoughts on this, Joe? As dad, man, can our behavior impact the legacy of our kids? And if so, how? How and can it happen?
Can I go first on this? Can I go first?
Yeah, you can go first. Yeah,
go ahead, Coach.
Because I was talking to Joe about this yesterday, and I think I got an interesting perspective on this.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure you do.
This is probably one of them cold cracker moments, guys. Y'all ready?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So here we go off top. Sports used to be the young athletes, especially the African American ones, used to be our way out of the hood. Our dads wasn't in the homes. It was single mom and son against the world. Now I know a lot of folks that's still the situation, but we kind of grew past that overall in the space where a lot of our fathers became they made it. They became pro athletes and they started to raise kids in this environment.
Yep.
And I think we have to learn how to be I think we got to learn sports dad etiquette on the main stage.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think it used to be, man, this I just had to do this, take care of my mom. This is my way out the hood, man.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like now it was me and my dad. And me and my dad, we done went to AAU tournaments.
Yep.
He was up with me in the morning and them long rides, and it's just been me and him in the gym. And so
every
now
step of the way.
And now it's still when they get on the stage, the main stage, it's still just them.
Yeah.
To them. You know what I'm saying? And so
I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
I feel like the Currys kind of. That's when I mark it. That's when I can tell the difference of a great shooter making another great shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah.
And he surpassed them. He didn't just make one. Like Jordan and his kids, nobody's better than Jordan, right? Even right now, Bronny's not better than. But with the Currys, he raised the greatest shooter of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so now it changed. Now the culture is changing where the dads are millionaires. The dad's been there through the process, and they get on that stage and they feeling like it's their moment. Now it's not. Especially, some of the things we're going to talk about. But I think that's the new thing now. Like, we got to understand how, like, I see Melo with his son, Chris Paul with his son. I just played Rondo with his son. We'll get into that too.
Yes,
but,
sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's a new thing. It's a new vibe. So we just gotta learn how to behave on this stage. It's something new. Everything takes time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Anyway.
definitely some cringy parent activity going on,
Yeah.
man. Some cringy.
Yeah, well, we were talking about this yesterday. It's just like most of them, I get, whatever, but Dion, he seems like a helicopter dad to me, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all the rest of them, they got to learn some etiquette. Yeah, okay, I'm good with that. But Dion, Dion, no, I think he's the cringy dad right now, right? Like, you look at LeBron. I mean, he's not really. He doesn't do anything. I mean, besides the whole draft thing, you know what I mean? But there is. It's just etiquette, and fathers get excited for their kids, right? I mean, let's just be real. And like you said, you think it's still one-on-one, you and your son. After the AAU game, running out in the field, like running out on the court and say, yeah, you know what I mean? It's different now, So,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, so I love the way that you display how this is transcended over time, T, in that that dynamic of the home, definitely the Black home, has changed and is prominent in a different light now, right? I didn't even think of it. There's part of these dads who have worked their butts off to see their child get this far, right? Because Halliburton's dad, wasn't an NBA player, nor was Ja Morant's dad, but I believe Ja Morant's dad used to play ball, right? And so I know there's got to be a part of them that feel like this is their moment too, and just human nature, right? So, I think, like you said, we got to learn some etiquette and just be mindful, especially when the spotlight is so much on our boys, right? Because the spotlight brings responsibility to them,
right?
And if they are so occupied with trying to make sure that you maintain good posture and etiquette, it can take away from the game, their teammates, the things that them as men, them as fathers, right? You can't. A son's not supposed to father his father. It's supposed to be the other way around. So they can't. It's not supposed to police him. Like Halliburton had to go and do a press conference and say, yeah, I don't really agree with what my pops did. Do you know how tough that had to be for him to have to speak on that and really show, he had to, if he would have favored his pops in that moment, he'd have got so much backlash. He had to do what was right.
It could have cost him, because I actually feel like that cost Ja Morant.
Yeah.
His capability to be the face of the league. Not being able to say, hey, draw that line, have that line of separation. Like, you got to be able to show, and we're gonna get into it with Dion. Like, you got to be able to show that aside from your parents, aside from your wife, your kid, all that, you got to be ready for the position. So
yeah, man. But I also think Halliburton's dad, I think just being proud, right? I mean, it was just a proud dad moment too, right? And
and
I mean,
here's the other thought I had too, Joe. Aside from being proud, I truly think, because I know this has happened with my boys, where you see certain traits of your child, you see certain traits in you show up in your child, and things like with Ja Morant. So look, Ja Morant ran into the issues that he ran into, and you see his dad getting kicked out of games. You can't tell me that some of Ja Morant's behavior is not a direct trait from his dad. Like, you cannot,
could be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
so I agree.
And so I think what we're seeing is, now Halliburton hasn't really gotten in too much trouble, but I know there's a piece of Halliburton in the way his father stepped on that court like that.
Well, because that's the part that makes them special in the game.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that's part of their gift.
Yep.
Your dad give you that masculine, that alpha nature. You know what I'm saying? Which is great for a player that's in competition, especially if you channel it correctly. But it might not be so good for a fan.
For sure, man.
True.
And same thing with Shador. That same bravado and confidence and swagger. That's all. It's all Dion. And so you either take it or leave it. And when the talent is special enough, there's a franchise and a group of fans and in the audience that will be okay with that and accept that, regardless.
There is a race element to it though, because different races show their bravado or their dominance at a different temperament.
Yeah.
Right. So I just want to put that out there. I know that might be another show, but for sure, you got to be conscious of it.
One thing you said, Joe, you said you kind of feel like Deion's a bit of a helicopter dad. What's a helicopter dad? Break that down for the audience, man.
Well, let's just start. It started off with a helicopter mom, right? Basically, always like where your kid is, like flying above your kid all the time, like just pretend that you're a helicopter and put your head on it.
At the playground, in the gravel, in the monkey bar.
Everywhere the kid is, the mom's there, wondering what the kid's doing, trying to get, always trying to get the kid, like, oh yeah, this is my son. Why don't you come play with him? Or, hey, all that stuff. And I look at that and Deion's like, it's like, hey, my son's going to make it one way or another because I'm Deion. So I'm going to fly over and I'm going to make sure that he makes it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think he does too much. I think Deion does too much, and we said it a long time. I mean, when one of our first shows, we were talking about the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. I was, it's just too much Deion. Deion's Deion. Remember, he was going to put Detroit on layaway. Remember? I mean, So, I mean, come on.
Yeah, Joe, you definitely said it. You said that Deion was doing damage control because he kind of realized that Shadour's stock was dropping. And it was so, I honestly can say I loved your take on it, but I didn't believe it, right? I didn't believe that he truly was going to drop as low as he did based on what Deion said and did. But they definitely showed us, man. They, those owners and those franchises sent a message clearly to Deion Sanders. And I still love Deion. Shador looks like he's been doing well in OTAs and camp. So, but I wish him all the best. But yeah, man, dads, we got to be careful, man. We got to learn proper sports dad etiquette, man. So moving on, man. What's on tap? Sponsored by Suburban Joe. Look, if you haven't peeped the Suburban Joe podcast, and this is more than just being an alcohol or bourbon lover, right? If you enjoy conversations that build, conversations that strengthen, conversations that heal, check out the Suburban Joe podcast. It's on all audio platforms. It's on YouTube. Definitely check it out. And I may be a little biased because he's my guy, right? These are my guys. They're both on it. It's actually Joe and T, both on Suburban Joe. But check out that podcast, sponsor of the show, What's on Tap, where we tap into what's happening around Clinton Township, man. Fellas, catch us up, man. What's good? What's going on locally, man? I know it's been a lot, but just walk us through it. What's going on in the area?
We just had the Grand Prix last weekend here.
Nice.
It was in Detroit, but it's always a big event. Baseball, Tarmel, get into that, is in full swing. He's and still basketball going on.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for summer events here in Clinton Township. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So
waiting for this weather to finally go ahead and break 100%. But in the
my high school won district championships.
Nice.
So, which was cool. Lakeshore. Yeah. They won district champs. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. So but I'll let T go because you two got all the locals. I mean, the local stuff. You guys are involved in the local stuff, man. All the exciting stuff right now that's going on. That's you guys.
What's been popping, T?
So basketball. So Adidas just bought their shoe circuit here for basketball. It's called the Junior 3 SSB, and what they do is they bring circuits to different regions, right? And so we just competed in the Midwest region, which was a great opportunity, man. We had to fill out paperwork, get in it, be welcome to it. They're huge on integrity. None of that older kids playing at the wrong age. Nah, they use the passport app. It's crazy. They verifying rosters between games. Like I love the integrity and security of the Junior 3.
That's awesome.
So shout out to Adidas because they control it and make sure that the right kids are playing at the right level.
That's dope. That's dope.
But usually we got to go to like Chicago or somewhere else or Indiana or somewhere to do it. But this time they came through Michigan at the Hype Athletics in Dearborn Heights. So that was fire. And then right now the Prep Hoops Championships are going on in basketball, which Prep Hoops are important. If you're a parent, look out for Prep Hoops. That's one of the think of it as college preparatory hoops, where you know you can lock in with different teams, different coaches. It's really cool. But if you can compete in it, it kind of raises your value in stock as a young player. So those are going on right now. So we compete in both of those, and then tons of travel baseball. This weekend, total will be. We'll actually be playing for, and I want to say this because I know this is near and dear to some people's hearts, and I don't want to get this wrong.
Right.
But we're playing in the Jamie Samuelson Strikeout for Cancer, colon cancer.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so we'll be competing in that this weekend.
You know, Jamie Samuelson, he was the one of the stars on 997 won the ticket. He passed away.
Wow.
Okay, and we'll be playing for him out in Troy, Michigan, 1808 South Boulevard, Troy, Michigan. So I'm excited about that. So those are some of the things that's going on right now. So
that's dope, man. That's super dope. I know the Lions started OTAs, right? Did that start yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. It started. Yep.
Nice. I know here, Seminole County, like I said, high school summer basketball started last weekend. That's going to last to maybe early July. Typically around this time, AAU, especially here, AAU kind of takes a break knowing their summer high school basketball. So they take a break until July for it. So not a lot of AAU going on, but definitely high school basketball, man. Joe, I know we was talking about this. Kroger got something going on with the bourbons up there or something like that?
Yeah, they just reset their it was pretty cool. They just reset their whole bourbon aisle. Before it was the Kroger over by us was pretty limited on the bourbons. And so T and I went up there and went to go talk to and our guy Chad was up there and we were just chatting with him. He was telling us about how they redid the bourbon aisles, you know. So it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
It's got a lot of the top shelf stuff. They have some Eagle Rare, some Blatant.
Yeah.
Kroger with Eagle Rare?
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, you got to find. They all carry them, right? You just got to catch it on the right day. That's all.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, look here, man. My sports moms, my wives, my sports moms.
Yeah.
Father's Day is around the corner.
Yeah.
Just heard what they did in Kroger on the bourbon tip. Get that man a nice bottle.
That's
Preferably that shelf that's hard to reach for you. Go and get one of them guys that work in the store. Have them get you one of them bottles up top for Father's Day. Get him something real that he's gonna need that. You know, he need to crack that open after a long day or a long weekend of tournaments.
So this is how she got to do it. Here we go. Another code moment. She's got to ask for the guy that's working that area. He might be out there stocking, might not. Ask for the guy that works the alcohol and the liquor area. And then ask him what he's got in the back. That'll be a great gift for that husband, for that sports dad. All right.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's at. Right, Joey?
Yeah. That's right. And if not, there's plenty of good bourbons out there, you know?
Yeah, man.
There's plenty of them out there. You don't even have to spend a lot. That's the thing. You know, that's the thing. Everyone's so, you know, and here's the thing. Everyone's so into trying to chase those unicorns, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to. You don't have to. There's so many good bourbons out there. Don't waste your time always chasing the unicorns, you know? I mean, I was excited, you know, like, you know, I was telling Termel, I was excited to have the old Forester there now.
I love it, man. Love it. Yes, sir. You call it the unicorn. Man, I love it, man. Speaking of great dads, man, and Father's Day, shout out to Lino, man. Shout out to Lino, man. Sponsor of the show, great friend of the show, great neighbor. You see those signs all throughout Clinton Township, other areas in Michigan. Lino Realty, man. Let's get into it. Let's check out one word from him, man, real quick.
If you're an entrepreneur like me and looking for the perfect location for your next big idea, call Lino Realty, 586-263-5111. Again, 586-263-5111. Lino Realty is a family-owned business started in 1983. They got over 40 years in the commercial real estate space. I mean, we go to these guys for everything. Market insight, what's the best approach, if I need something with a drive-through, just everything. I mean, their market knowledge and expertise all but ensures successful transactions for owners. Although they do a ton of business all over, especially downtown, they do a magnificent job in representing Macomb County. We highly recommend you give them a call for all your commercial real estate needs. Look them up, linorealty.com. That's LINOREALTY.com.
Lino Realty, man. Great people doing great things.
The great Bambino.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And man, can't wait to have Lino on the show. Former
Heck yeah.
athlete, great dad, just awesome, awesome all around guy. And
Tons of stories. He's got lots of stories.
And we're gonna wait till Lino gets on to tell the story of us in the cigar room in T's basement one time. We're gonna wait till that episode to tell that story. So be on the lookout for that.
That's right.
Joe, man, before we went to break, you were talking about Forrester, man. And I want you to kind of tell folks about that before we move on.
Let me tell you, selfishly, I like it, right? Because I was excited when we went to Kroger and I looked at the reset. They've never had the old Forrester brand there, and I like it, right? Because it's a consistent bourbon, right? It's been around since like 1870, so it's always consistent. Their flavors, their flavors are awesome. They got the 86. I mean, you can start off with the 86 proof, the 100 proof. Then from there, they've got a variety. They got the 1910, the 1920. They got the Statesman, and it's accessible. And I mean, it's accessible everywhere. Any store you go to, you can find it. The price is right all the time. You know what I mean? So, and you're not going to break the bank with it, right? You can use it for straight up. I mean, T bought a bottle the other day. It was pretty good, right?
Nice. Yeah, I got the one you liked. It was the rye, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it was the 86 proof. It was just easy drinking.
What was it, like $30 tops?
Nice.
$24.
Nice.
$24.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't beat it for $24, right?
Yeah, you got me at price point. That's what
yes,
you got
sir.
me. You got me.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you got me at price point. You know what I'm saying? So, man, speaking of selfish, man. First off, man, make sure you go get a bottle of that old Forester. I think I'm gonna have to do that. About halfway on the old Double Oak, man. It's a little Wolford, and I need to re-up and grab me another bottle anyway. So make sure you grab that old Forester. But speaking of selfishly, man, and being selfish, we talked about the legacy of our child athletes, right? And in considering that, the decisions that we make on what program they're going to play in and what they partake in is so critical, right? But it comes with great balance. So my question to you guys, Coach T, is, when is it time to be selfish for your kid? How do you know, especially you being a coach, right? You coach boys, an entire team of boys, your son plays for you, but how do you recognize when it's time to be selfish for your son?
So there is a such thing as too many voices in the kid's head. And so a lot of times as parents, we want to give them as many resources as possible, right? Like I got a kid right now who's probably about 6'4", 6'3". And, the average height on my team is probably 5'6".
Wow.
Right? And so he's a whole foot taller than everybody.
Wow.
And he's being trained to be a guard. Now, I've been coaching the kid as his head coach for a while. It's a difference between a trainer and a head coach.
Yep.
Trainers have objectives that they want to get you to skill set wise. And they're usually thinking down the road, like, what if this kid make it to the NBA? He's going to play guard today.
Yep,
right?
today.
But to me, that lacks foresight, because if he's 6'4" today, how tall he gonna be when he get to the NBA,
Yeah.
right?
Good point.
And he also has the intangibles as a excellent shot blocker. You know, his natural intangibles, really beautiful shot. That can go either way, but dribbling, nah. But that's all they teaching him, right? And so when he comes to me, he's doing the big guard thing.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I
yeah.
know he's a dominant force and probably one of the top shot blockers for 40 miles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in my
He the
mind,
biggest kid on the court.
and his instinct is there for it. I know some big kids who ain't got that instinct.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm watching him, and I'm like, well, you know, the quickest way to being recruited for you is this path. But now I have to, you know, but he goes to this trainer, and so we're doing this the whole time,
All right.
right?
It's a tug of war.
It's a tug of war. And so the poor kid's in the middle trying to figure out which way is north, right? And so I'm sitting here and I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay. Same token, my son is a pure point guard who deserves to, well, he's leading the team. He's an extension of me, and so he's always putting the team first. But it'll be nice for him to be more selfish, right? And so I'm watching these different landscapes with these players, and I'm like, man, you know, what's the right balance? And there's no right answer. You know, there is no right answer. Like, what I will say is, if you have a good program that's committed to your kid, as a parent, you got to follow it. You got to invest in it. You got to believe it. You have to find ways to make it better. Jumping around from trainer to trainer, program to program, that is not the path. If you don't believe in if you don't believe in the program you're in, find a better one.
Yeah.
But if you believe in the one you're in, believe in his trainers.
Yeah.
Hell, if he ain't got one, find him one. Like, you want the journey to be what we call concentric, where we're all in this together. It's one voice, it's one source of truth, because they're young. You're going to confuse the hell out of them, man. And I'm probably undoing the trainer's work. And the trainer's, he definitely undoing my work. It take me 5 games in a damn tournament to get this guy to play his position, right?
Yeah.
And so you can be selfish now, but selfish is, I love this program. I'm in. Let's go together. You know what I'm saying?
I like
That's
that.
my perspective.
I like that too. Yeah, I like that too. What about you, Joe, man? When you had the boys going through sports and you know, trying to decide where to have them play, where to partake in, you know, whether to cheer them on more than you cheered the team on, you know. But you know, when was a good time to be selfish? How did you recognize those windows? What'd you do about it?
Basically, yeah, it does. I mean, I agree with Tarmel 100%. Actually, there was a time Justin, he was playing soccer, and he was on a team, you know, but the team wasn't going anywhere, right? They weren't going anywhere, and you know, he enjoyed it, but after a while, you know, the kids just couldn't keep up with him, you know, and he would be scoring the goals, and parents would be yelling at him, like, he passed the ball, and Justin would be, you know, looking at me with tears in his eyes, like, why are they yelling at me? There ain't nobody around me to pass the ball to, you know. That became selfish time. It was like, all right, you know what? It's time to move on. You know what I mean? We're taking our kid and we're moving him to a team. And you know what? We found a team that we loved, just like Tarmel had said, and we stayed on that team. Don't bounce around. You know, you know what? He never wanted to bounce around. I mean, we're not really a selfish people. You know what I mean? I'm not a selfish person at all. Sometimes I wish Jeremy would have been a little bit more selfish playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he never was. You know, so being selfish, I really don't know what it's like to be selfish. You know what I mean? So, well, I kind of wish sometimes I was a little bit more selfish, but it's not in my nature. You know what I mean? So
it's hard. It's hard because you know, you want to teach your kid to be a team player, but also there's a level of selfishness that's healthy. And so
it is. I agree 100%.
It's not an easy balance. Even with Dion in baseball, you know, there's decisions he could have made with certain teams because he had the offers that would have been selfish. But you know, then you want your kid to, sometimes you want your kid to be on that stage and for that pressure to be on him to teach him things. And so, you know, you got to go case by case.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to see you got to analyze what it is that your kid need, and then be honest.
Yeah.
If no matter how great you might think they are, if they ain't excelling at certain levels, that's what it is. And you got to look in the mirror and say, all right, you know, these things is what it takes. So that's very difficult. What about you, Marcel? What's that?
Man, so many different ways to splice it.
Yeah.
For the player individually, like you said, so I've seen firsthand the work MJ has put in, right?
Yeah.
I've seen him go to the trainer, practice with multiple teams. Even on his off days, he's hitting the court to hoop. I've seen the work he put in. And so you can tell when he gets to the gym or a game and he's playing next to a player who didn't put the same amount of work in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's been times where he's overpassed, right? And it's like, yo, I've seen you work on that shot so much, you got to just let it fly in the game, right? You know, that, you know, down to that granular level of selfishness, right?
Yeah.
But outside of that, the experience I have is in AAU and at this age, there are teams that are loaded that's kicking everybody's butt and it looks good, right? They're a great program. It's great for the program itself, especially if they're on a shoe circuit. Shoe circuit meaning if they're playing Adidas circuits, if they're playing Puma, if they're playing Nike, you know, they're playing on these big stages, and it's great if they're winning on them and they get a good name. But you have to really look and see if the kids are individually growing, though. Because I tend to believe that at young ages, you grow more when you lose than when you win, unless you have a very efficient training and coaching staff that will not accept anything in a win that they won't accept in a loss. So even if you do win and kick them butt, if you didn't adhere to the game plan, you didn't do something within the boundaries or you know what you were supposed to do on the court, so you're still growing, I think losing is just more beneficial. And you know, I could be biased because MJ's been on more losing teams than winning, and I've watched what it's done to him as far as made him just constantly push because he wants to win. Right? It's just created a hunger. So like when he first started out, he was going to be going to Lake Mary High School under a program to be able to go there. Now, I showed up to the freshman tryout for summer school, and I knew a lot of these kids. And I looked at him and was like, man, this is going to be loaded. Now, it wasn't that I didn't believe MJ could make the team. I knew he could, but it was like, man, this is just too stacked over here. Yeah. Now, luckily, and this was by the grace of God, it worked out where he had to go to Seminole High School because it was the one in our area. So he ended up going to Seminole, and it ended up being better for him. It was still a good team, but he was a starter on the team, and he had the room to grow. I don't want MJ to be taking all the shots, right? That's not the goal. The goal is to give him space and platform to grow. Now, if he loses or wins in that process, I don't really care as long as he grows, right? That's the main point. Like, unless you're winning an NBA championship, everything else is kind of like, you know, let's be out. It's not as high.
We like to win though, especially when we there though. I mean, I feel you.
We like to win, but
you want to win a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
But at what cost is my thing though, right?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
are you making your kid better, or are you making a program?
Right. And so as a parent, right, I gotta say, well, if we're driving the brand up and my kids growing at the same time, then cool. But if only the brand's going up because all you're doing is winning, and you know, I'm still seeing bad habits. It's like nah. I got to take you out of that. We got to go somewhere else. Yeah. And so I think
is your son another notch under the belt, right?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Are we just stacking it to say we got the best player at that school, two best players at that school? You know, it's really you know, again, it's not that you want your child to just get all the spotlight, but some of the spotlight helps with growth, you know, for them to have that pressure on them to be responsible
they
for
gotta
the dub.
It depends on them.
Exactly. Exactly. And with some of those stacked teams, man, it's hard to know for sure if the kids believe that, right? It's hard to.
I agree. You know, and then there are some, you know, the stacked teams that are selfish, right? That'll bring players in, from, their A squad. They got A, B, C, D squad, right?
Yep.
And then you go to all these tournaments. One week you're playing squad A, right? Then in one tournament you go to another, and then you're playing squad B, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, 3 of those kids were on the other team.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So basically, are these kids taking? This is the selfishness, right?
Yeah.
And of the selfishness of the coaches and of the program. Like, so let's just say you got 18 kids on your team, right? And you decide, you know what, for this tournament, I'm bringing 3 kids from this other part, from our other half of our team. Well, now 3 kids are going to have to sit and not play, right, on their team. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff,
A lot of those programs do that just for the sake of getting the dub too, like just for the sake of winning, man. Like, those aren't the programs that I necessarily want to take part of. Go ahead, T.
Nah, that's it. I mean, they don't care about how we feel. They don't care about how you feel. They know because they know they're going to charge that parent $3,000 to be a part of them, and that parent is going to pay it.
Yep.
And some of them, they're bottom feeder programs, some of them.
Yep.
Or they got a great program and they're bottom feeder teams that they marketing these poor parents to.
Yep.
And they're powerhouses, and so people are going to spend with them.
Yeah, some of this stuff get pricey. We got to talk about that in another episode. Dad gang. So look, my dad gang, I want y'all to, in the comments, man, let us know, because I know y'all have come across this where it's time to make a decision regarding the team. And it feels a little selfish, but you kind of know in your heart and in your gut that you got to make a change and go with a different program, or maybe stick with the program. But let us know in the comments what your experience has been like. That's Dad Gang, sponsored by Dad Gang. That's the apparel, man. Make sure y'all hit that code in the description. Check out that apparel, real fly. Get 15% off if you click our link, man. 50% off. It goes a lot when you spend as much as we spend on these kids, man. So save you a couple dollars, man.
100%.
But yeah, man. For dads, by dads, man. Sports Dad, Dad Gang, man. Dad Gang. Check them out. So check this out, fellas. Yes, Dad. No Dad, man. Sponsored by the Motown Magic, the great people over at Motown Magic. Coach T, let's check out that medallion one more time, man. Where'd you get that, man? Where'd you get that?
Dana Photography, man. So I'm telling y'all, we trying to tell y'all, man, she be coming through with the whole bag, man.
Yeah, man.
This jacket, man.
Shout out Dana Rose, man. She out cold with man the merch.
Man.
Yeah. Dana Rose kills it, man. The images, the merch. She's killing, man, killing the game. But yeah, this is sponsored by Motown Magic. Love the program, seen them grow. This Adidas circuit step that they've taken, super dope. Coming with so many lessons learned, growing as a program, growing with the families. Super dope, Coach T, man. It's been a joy to watch this journey, man. And I know y'all just gonna keep growing, but I need y'all to hit the website and donate, man. It's a cause for the kids. Want the program to keep growing, man.
We on the road now. We on the road again.
On the road again. So look, so before we get into Yes Dad, No Dad, because we ain't really go into, we said we was gonna talk about it, we ain't get into it.
Yeah.
Right. I seen you play 2-time NBA champion Rajon Rondo as a coach in one of these tournaments, man. What was that like, man? Tell us about that real quick, man.
So real fast, the first thing is cameras everywhere. What I mean? Security, and so, the place had like 6 courts, but you always knew what court he was at because it was a lot of fanfare, a lot of cameras, and a lot of security, and a lot of woos and ahs. And so it was really cool because he was very approachable. Him and his son is awesome, man. They're awesome. Like Rondo actually coached. He's actually there. I mean, he done won a championship with the Lakers and the Celtics out of all.
Right. Right.
He ain't got to do
two
nothing.
most successful franchises ever. He got a ring with each of them. That's crazy.
But he put the sports dad above all that, and he's there with his son, enjoying that environment together.
Love that.
They won it all. They won it all. But
love that.
They hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like he's right there. Like TJ got a picture with him. Even though TJ looking crazy, here's the picture with him and TJ right here.
Yeah,
it's a dope photo. But, yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy to experience. Your team got to be ready for the stage. Shout out to Baller TV. They do a good job of promoting and producing the game. And yeah, man, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy experience. So.
That's dope, man. Well, shout out to Rajon Rondo, the sports
Yeah.
dad. Shout out
Sports
to
Dad.
Rondo.
Yeah,
Yeah, the sports dad. That's super
Yeah.
dope, man.
Yeah.
And then look. So another thing that got in, this is now we love Rondo, but this one is probably a little more dear to our heart on this one, man, because the last tournament you were at, you seen somebody from the Pistons, man. What was that? What was up with that?
Yeah, so it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning, right? So, me, I'm just trying to get my boys woke. Let's just say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, guys, are you ready to play? No, they wasn't. So we played against the family. And anybody who knows the family program, it's one of the top programs in the D. I think they like number 3 nationally right now. But we look up in the stands. There's Trajan Langdon, the president and of basketball operations. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, what are we doing around here? Like every week,
right?
Every week, I got to play NBA levels now. NBA coaching and resources. Like, who you think talking to those kids in the locker room?
Exactly.
That's right.
Probably Cade Cunningham. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They got Cade coming in. They got.
You know what I'm saying? So it's awesome though, man, to experience this stuff and to have the team at that level, especially where we came from. So
Yep. That's awesome.
Super dope, man.
Good fun experience, man.
Well, his son played for the family, so
that's super dope, man. Well, with that in mind, before we get into Yes Dad, No Dad, let's look at one quick thing from the Motown Magic, man. Let's check that out right now.
I bet you did not know playing basketball pleases God. Dr. James Naismith, the inventor of basketball, stated in his philosophy that the mission of basketball is to win men for the master through the gym. His idea was that missionaries would spread awareness of the sport and the good news of Jesus Christ. I identify as being one of those missionaries that Dr. Naismith envisioned. I played for the Magic growing up, where my dad was my coach. This showed me that a father figure could show up in many forms, from a stepdad to a teacher to a coach, heck, even a brother. This planted a seed deep in me as a kid from the west side of Detroit. The Motown Magic has become a platform where the relationship between father and son can grow. And also, father figures can stand in the gap for our boys whose fathers, they're not around. We built a positive environment that encouraged growth of basketball intellect, discipline, and leadership qualities. A place where accountability means more than winning. It's even created a healthy communication channel for me and my own kids. Now I'm starting to see that this private organization needs to be more public. It's going to require some expansion. Basically, we're going to need a bigger boat. And this is where you come in. If you'd like to partner with us and help out in any kind of way, visit us at MotownMagicBasketball.com. Let's discuss the ways that we can partner up. Just like I tell my boys in the huddle, if it's going to happen, it'll happen together. So, together on 3.
There you have it, y'all. Motown Magic Basketball. Coach T, y'all got the journey. He done got to a point where it's NBA every week. That's just the stakes. That's the stakes, bro. And hey, man, God be with you.
God be with us.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it.
I'm just a sports dad. You know what I mean?
I do real estate.
Pick a role.
So look, man. Yes, dad, no dad. Rapid fire sports questions coming at you quick. If you with it, yes, dad. If you're not with it, no, dad. Let's kick it off, man. You know we're gonna stay local. We're gonna stay with the home team. We talk about the Lions on this one, fellas. Look, the Lions center Frank Ragnow. He announced his retirement after 7 seasons in NFL. Wow, 7. Citing health reasons and a desire to prioritize his family. Sound like a sports dad, according to multiple sources. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He started 96 regular season games. And we talked about this with Harmel's pops earlier about him just playing hurt. And his pops actually told us that that's what he did. He played hurt. He only allowed 6 sacks over 3,174 pass blocking snaps. That is
they said
crazy.
They said he had a fractured throat. He had a fractured throat at one time. I mean, and he played through it. I mean, for real.
That's crazy. I don't even know how you get that, and that's crazy, man. But look, my question to y'all, man, is, do you think the Lions already knew this retirement was on the horizon for him, and it didn't just come as a shock? Do you believe, Joe? Yes, Dad. No, Dad. If they knew this was on the horizon.
Yes, Dad. I think they had a hunch. I mean, when you look at what they've done, right? I mean, in the past few years, they went out and they got Glasnow, and then they drafted Rutledge, Frazier, and Mahogany, right? So, I mean, when you look at it, you know, I think they were hoping that he didn't, but I think they probably had a hunch. You know what I mean?
Got you, man. So what about you, Coach C? Yes, Dad. No, Dad.
For
you think
sure.
The Lions know about it?
For sure.
And when you
got a good relationship with a team, I think a lot of times you let them know what you're thinking, especially when they're drafting, and you probably want them to be able to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the team say, well, sleep on it. Let's make sure this is the decision. Follow it up with your family one more time before we decide. You know what I'm saying? And I just take Sheila and Dan, and I just take them as that kind of organization. So,
man.
I agree.
Huge loss, though.
Huge loss.
He's the secret sauce to our running game.
Yeah. No question, man. So for me,
and protecting our quarterback, which kind of scares me now.
Man,
I mean, in all honesty,
this is a yes, Dad, for me. On this, so 7 years is a long time, but there had to be clues last season. Playing hurt means that you're more banged up than players who actually got hurt and took the time off. That means you never really took the proper break, and that catches up with you sooner or later. So they kind of, you know, they take physicals all the time. They do assessments. They had to know that, I wouldn't say falling apart at the seams, but they had to know that he was starting to battle some life quality issues at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? And you know, 7 years in the league. I didn't really look up him as far as family dynamics, what he's got, kids and all that kind of stuff. But as a sports dad, you want to be around and you want to be healthy during that sport. Man, we really never talk about the physical demand of being a sports dad. That's going to be a great topic for another show.
Yeah, I agree.
But, you know,
and all the therapy that's required.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? So you can only imagine that those things became important, because you got to think they're really still in the championship talk and hunt right now. So for him to retire right in that hunt, he had to really, you know, want to make this decision from a life quality standpoint, man.
I think
that's what I think.
Yeah, I personally think that the time came to start coming to the practices, and he said, "I don't know if I can do this anymore."
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, and a lot of players that talk retirement, they say once they don't want to do it anymore, the stuff off the court to wake up and do routinely is when they kind of know it's time to retire, man. But all right, shout out to Frank, man, because he one of them dogs, man. That's one of them dogs. Hall of Fame immediately. Thank you, sir. Man,
yes,
protect some of these QBs that we had over the past 7 years. Well, that's 7 years. That's about staff though, right?
That's all staff.
Yeah. So I can't say he has some bad QBs back there. You know, he has some dogs back there. But thanks for protecting our QBs, man, and being one of the staples of the franchise for the city. I know the city loves you, man. Great retirement to you, sir. Man, moving along. NBA Finals is now underway. The OKC Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers. I've been seeing this, you do all that, the talk leading up to the first game of the finals, which is starting really soon, probably right about now, fellas. So we got to get this going. I don't mean to rush y'all, but I got to get this game. But anyway, so look.
10-7 Oklahoma, but go ahead.
All right, let's get it. So look, 10-7. So the spread is 9. We talked about that before the game. We'll get into that. We'll get to that. Yeah, 9.5. So look, we really have a finals. First off, we're going to get a first-time winner for a franchise and one of these up-and-coming stars in the league, right? But my question to y'all, yes, Dad, no, Dad, Coach T, has this been the best playoffs in years?
Yes, it's been
Yes,
a while.
sir.
It's been a while. It's been a while. The parody's been good. New York put on a hell of a show. Detroit put
Yep.
on a hell of a show. Minnesota. I mean, yeah, man. We've had some. The Golden State Warriors wasn't supposed to make it, then they did. Lakers got eliminated early, which created a surprise.
Yeah.
MVP's in the finals right now.
Yeah.
Indiana's
Yep.
taking a step forward. I mean, yeah, this has been good. This has been
I
good for the
love it.
NBA, and the physicality is back, and defense is
Yep.
king again. So yes,
Yep.
yes,
Yeah, they're
Dad.
getting a little scrappy. What about
Yeah.
you, Joe? Is this the best playoff in years?
Yes, Dad. I think so. It's been exciting to watch. You know, it's been fun to watch. I mean, we watch the games, and they're fun. And I mean, there's elbows flying. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's physical again. You know what I mean? You don't see much flopping right now.
Yeah.
It's been fun,
Well, they do call Shea a bit of a. Think they call it a free throw hunter or something like that.
Wow.
Free throw merchant. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah. Well, we
merchant.
also seen Brunson, right? We've seen Brunson too.
Oh man, I hope the Pistons. Hey, side note, hope the Pistons see the Knicks first round or some point in the playoffs again. We got to run that back, man. But
yes, sir.
to my answer, I hate to say this, but I got to give it. Yes, sir. So I'm kind of torn on this, man. It's bittersweet. That Steph Curry, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, that class, which is crazy to put LeBron in that class is crazy because he's like way earlier than them. But anyway, that class is now on the sunset, right?
Yeah.
So we're
sure.
now
I get what you're going. Yeah.
And so it's kind of bittersweet because they're still at the top of their game to a certain extent. So to not see them this deep in the playoffs is kind of disappointing, right?
Yeah.
Like we may never get another Steph LeBron matchup in the playoffs, or a LeBron KD, or a James Harden KD, or maybe a Kyrie, because Kyrie's in that too. Like, I don't know if we're ever going to get these again, right?
I'm glad
it may be over for that. Like,
I hope so.
The Jalen Greens, the Halliburtons, the Shea Gildreds, the Jalen Brunsons, like
the Young Bull,
they are here, man. The Anthony Edwards, they're here, and I love it, But I saw something from someone on the Herd earlier today, and I like my superstars in the finals too. And we complained about it, but it was exciting watching Bron against Steph every finals because that was like basketball at its best. Now it kind of got repetitive, right? But those were the top of the guys.
I really don't want to see it again, though.
I know, but my question is: are we getting so Shea's the MVP, but is Halliburton top 5 in the league, right?
He can prove it. So this is how you're supposed to prove it.
Yeah,
he's got a chance to prove it. Now I got OKC Gentleman Suite 4-1. I ain't gonna lie to you, but if he prove it, then he prove it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's prove it. Let's get a new champion. Let's move on.
Yeah, right. Like you said, it depends. So if Halliburton goes to the finals this year, but then never gets back, you know what I'm saying? It's like I would have liked. So what this would have looked like to me is a OKC versus Boston, right? The defending champ, Tatum's up there, Jaylen Brown's up there, and so you're getting the new MVP again. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like we're getting the two best players.
Reggie Miller never won it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessary to win it or even go all the time. Everybody's not going to be the GOAT of the era or the face of the NBA.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's only going to be
we're so competitive right now. Like,
do we feel like we're getting 2 of the top players in this finals right now?
When you say, I mean, that's it depends.
Yeah, I mean,
we
don't know yet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
For this year, he's the MVP. We'll see what he is next year. If these guys can continue to do it, right?
Sure. I'm definitely looking to this finals. I think this is going to be a great series.
Yeah.
I got it in 7. I got OKC in 7. I just think it's a great matchup. And it's not really about superstar versus superstar. I think it's just great team against great team. Love to see Rick Carlisle back in the finals, by the way. He's an honorary Piston. Will always be that.
He built that team the year before we won it all.
Yep, exactly, man. So shout out to
You're
Rick
right.
Carlisle. So look, man, I got a retro, not really a yes dad, no dad, but we love to put it here. I love this retro spot, man. Before we get out of here, Father's Day is around the corner.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Right? In light of Father's Day, Coach T, I need your favorite TV dad growing up, man, or favorites. Right, because last time we talked about TV Crush, and everybody had at least two, right? Joey started it with the trio with Charlie's Angels.
Oh, that's right, I did.
We just follow suit.
Enjoy fashion, but I'm gonna keep this quick because I'm ready to go watch the game. You understand?
All right, bet. Okay, for sure.
I'm be honest from my perspective. I know this is like provocative these days, but I gotta go Bill Cosby, man.
I love it. Bill Cosby, yes,
He showed me how to navigate the household with lightheartedness, energy, comedy, finesse, success, successful wife. You know what I mean? He showed us what it meant to be a dad around the house, because the house is everybody's house is like a sitcom platform. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes we got to treat it like that. We got to get lost in it, man. And he showed you how to enjoy certain rooms and certain kids and certain personalities and bring them all together. He was the ultimate dad and ultimate coach.
Love that, man.
Oh,
Joe,
I like that. Yeah.
Favorite TV dad, Joe?
Yeah, well, growing up, it probably started off as Mr. Cunningham in Happy Days, but then I think Carl Winslow. I liked Carl.
Nice.
I like Family Matters, so that was
too, man. Man, he was Steve's dad.
Yeah,
he was Steve's dad.
He was. He pretty much adopted him, right? I mean,
man.
Yeah.
Yep. So and I'm gonna keep this brief, but in the words of the great J. Cole, first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. You dig? Man. So,
Uncle Phil. Yep.
Here's why I love Uncle Phil so much. First off, he was Will's dad, right? He was Will's dad.
Yeah.
I relate to Uncle Phil because the show tells that Uncle Phil started with humble beginnings. They started broke in the hood, and he just so happened to get out of that and provide a better life for his family. And now he's dealing with kids that are experiencing a childhood that he didn't experience. So it's, he got to try to keep them grounded while being a great dad and still living in the success that he's earned. Right. I'll never forget the first episode. Hillary walks in the room and she's like, "Dad, I need $500. Hey, you see your cousin Will? Hey, Will, Dad, I need $500. Right? It's just a different life. And I relate to that because my kid, I grew up in Detroit, and my kids know nothing but the suburbs, right? And it's not quite, mansion like the Smiths, right? Or the Banks, right? But it's a different life for them. And so I always want them to experience some of the originality and challenges that I had growing up, their version of it though. So, right. So it's a constant, let me make sure you earn or get life lessons as you grow up with a little more privilege than I got. You know what I'm saying? And then Uncle Phil was, he was so dope, man. He was funny. I'm a fat boy. You know what I'm saying? To eat. He had a pretty little red bone. The first one was brown skin thing. You know what I'm saying? Then they replaced it with a red bone. You know what I'm saying? So, two different ones. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Uncle Phil. Shout out to the TV dads. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out here, man. Leave us in the comments your favorite TV dad, man. There's so many to name. You got George Jefferson. You got Fred Sanford, 10-2, man. Taylor, Homer, man. James Evans. So many different dads, man. Dads from Full House, they were dope. Jesse and Danny, you're right. Like so many different folks, man. So many different dads. Leave your favorite dad in the comments, man. Definitely check in with us on all social media. We're gonna go watch this game, right?
Let's go.
Like all the sports dads should be doing, right? Who would we be as sports dads if we didn't go watch the game? So look, until next time, fellas. Shout out to all the people that support the show. Shout out to Dana Rose Photography, Motown Magic, Rise Above, Total. Shout out to the prospects. Coach Dave, we see you. Shout out to Central Florida Heat, Seminole High School, man. We're gonna get out of here, man. Until next time, y'all. Y'all know how I go, fellas. Did I miss anything?
No, you good.
Peace.